Hi, welcome to 7 Ways to Be Happier at Work, research-based actions to increase positivity and resilience. Let me introduce myself. I'm Laura Brown. I'm a business coach, a corporate trainer, a speaker. I've done HR for global tech companies for many years. I worked for a company called Women Unlimited, training high-performing women from Fortune 100 companies. I'm the author of 10 books. I've written for Forbes, and I've been in many major magazines. And I am happy to help you with this topic today. So we're going to talk about how to be happier at work. You're going to learn some practical actions you can take in 7 areas. And this is all inspired by one of my new favorite books, The Happiness Advantage by Sean Achor. And I highly recommend that you get a copy of the book for more information, because I'm just going to touch the surface on some of the topics. Now, a lot of times the question I get when I talk about happiness is, but wait a minute, Laura, if I focus only on the good, won't I be blind to problems? No, absolutely not. It doesn't mean filtering out all of the negatives. When we have rose-colored glasses, it lets us still see the major problems, but keeps our focus mainly on the positive, on the possibilities. I like to think that it gives us a sort of reasonable, realistic, healthy sense of optimism, and that's what we're going for here. So there are 7 different areas. These are not exactly what is listed in the book. This is my take on it. So number 1 is the advantage of being happy. Number 2 is choose your mindset. 3, spot patterns of possibility. 4, fall down and get back up. 5, start small. 6, make it easy. And 7, use a support network. So we're going to just touch on these. So what's the advantage? Well, we're more successful when we're happy and positive, because our brains are hardwired to perform at their best. Happier employees report higher productivity, more job security, less likely to quit, less likely to burn out. And salespeople outperform, optimistic salespeople outperform their pessimistic counterparts by quite a bit. If they are more optimistic, they are more likely to make more sales. So when you think about the most successful people, it's interesting. Really successful people don't see happiness as a distant reward, like I will be happy when I lose 15 pounds, or I will be happy when I get promotion, or I'll be happy, whatever it is. They capitalize on positive now and they reap the reward. So they focus on being happy now and in the future. So why is happiness so important? One of the reasons is negative emotions narrow our thoughts and our range of actions. Happiness allows us to broaden our ideas. And so positive emotions are linked to chemicals that make us feel good and connect to the learning centers of the brain. And what that really goes down to is happy people are more creative and innovative than stressed and unhappy people. And don't you want that? So quick summary, happy people are more positive and successful. They see happiness as something now and in the future, and it leads to an increased ability to have new ideas and be more creative. So number 2, choose your mindset. You can choose negativity or you can choose positivity to see things through a lens of gratitude, hope, resilience, optimism, and meaning. You have the ability to choose how your brain sees the world, even though it doesn't seem like you do, but you have the choice. So if you think about it, what do you expect? So when you're faced with a difficult task, you can focus on why you're going to fail. I can't believe my boss gave me this. I'm not going to be able to do it. Or you can think about why you would succeed. And for those of you that are feeling negative right now, let me give you some reasons why you might succeed. So you might think, okay, times in the past, I've done something similar or something the same. Or I have never done anything like that, but I'm really good at learning new things. Or I have other people that can help me. So again, I can choose to focus on something positive. Now, there was an interesting thing in the book I really liked, that really when you name something, it really makes a difference to you. So they had participants that were playing a game, and they either called the game the Wall Street game or the community game. It was exactly the same game. The participants who were given the Wall Street game expected competition, and they played a very competitive game. But people who were told it's the community game, they weren't told anything else about it. They got the feeling, oh, I should cooperate with other people. And they played a cooperative game. So again, what are the stories you're telling yourself and other people? What are the names you use and what are the words you're using? And are they positive or are they negative? So here's an exercise. So you can stop the video, you can do it afterwards. I want you to think about something you need to do either now or in the future. And I want you to write down 3 to 5 reasons why you could succeed. Again, I've done something similar in the past. somebody could help me, I'm good at learning, whatever it is, because I want you to do this exercise and choose to be positive about something. So, quick summary, it's your choice. You can choose to focus on the positive, and when you do, you're more likely to get positive results. Or you can focus on the negative. So my recommendation, of course, is when you're faced with a difficult task or challenge, think about the reasons for success and choose to be positive. Number 3, spot patterns of possibilities. Now, a lot of people are really great at scanning the environment for negatives, and sometimes that can be really useful. And as a matter of fact, for some people, that's their job, that their job is looking to find mistakes or looking to find problems. And that's great if you leave it there. Here's the problem. The better we are at focusing on negative, the more we miss out on positive. It cuts creativity, raises stress, it lowers motivation and ability to accomplish goals. Because if we keep looking for negative, we're going to find it. So we need to intentionally focus on the positive. So think about, what are you looking for? Are you looking for the positive reinforcement that things are good or will be good? Or are you looking for reinforcement for the negative? Reinforcement, things aren't fair. See, I told you, my boss doesn't like me, or things won't work. Whatever it is, you're going to find what you're looking for. Now, again, you might not think that you're doing this, but we're all looking for something. And so it's important to intentionally look for the positive. I like to think about this because I live in Arizona where it's pretty sunny. So two people think it's sunny. So one person immediately thinks, oh, I'm going to get sunburned. And the other person thinks, oh, it's really nice and warm. It feels really good. So which person are you? Are you looking for the positive or the negative? And there was a great study that was an experiment done. It instructed people to write about a positive experience, 20 minutes, 3 times a week. There was a control group that just wrote about something, anything, nothing especially positive, for 3 times a week. And the group that wrote about the positive had spikes in happiness, and 3 months later, they had fewer symptoms of illness. Our brains can only focus on so much at once. And so if you're able to focus on a lot more of the positives, the brain, because it doesn't have that much room, you can only focus on one thing at a time, it tends to ignore the small annoyances and frustrations that used to seem so big. So focus on the positive. So here's your exercise. Again, you can stop the video, or you can do this afterwards. Make a daily list of 3 things you're grateful for, or 3 good things at the end of the day that happened. Be specific: a hug from your kid, a terrific email, something that made you smile, a bite of something delicious, whatever it is. Every morning I get up and that's what I do. I write down 3 things I'm grateful for. Some days it takes me a minute. That's it. Some days it takes me a little longer. Oh, and it has to be 3 different things. You can't keep putting exactly the same thing each day, but I highly recommend that you do this exercise and keep doing it every day. So, summary of number 3, spot patterns of possibility. It's about opening our mind to the ideas and opportunities that will help us be more productive, more effective, and more successful at work and life. Now, number 4, fall back down and get back up, or fall down and get back up. When we're stressed, most people miss the most important path, the path up. Path 1 keeps circling around where you currently are. Path 2 just leads to more negativity or worse off. Path 3, though, leads to a place where we're even more stronger and more capable than before the fall. So not just getting back up, but getting back up even better. So why can't we see that path, path number 3? Well, when we feel helpless and hopeless, we may not believe it exists and we don't look for it. But studies show if we see failure as an opportunity for growth, we're more likely to experience that growth. You can find it. The most successful people know it's not adversity, but it's what we do with the adversity that determines our faith. So there's the old story about 2 salespeople sent to Alaska to sell air conditioners. One says, situation is hopeless. The other one sees the possibilities and says, great opportunity. They don't have any air conditioners. Again, can you find the positive? One way to do it is to change the description. How we choose to explain past events has a big impact on our happiness. So if we say, oh, it's really bad, it's never going to change, just stop trying, or it's not so bad, it will get better, that pushes us on to higher performance. So I want you to think about a time when you were stuck or had a loss and were able to get back up. Again, you can, stop the video, or you can do it afterwards. Jot down what you did to turn it around. I'm just going to give you my personal story. I was trying to buy a house years ago, and it was California. It was a housing market. It was really tough. I lost the first 3 bids, And I could have said to myself, well, forget it. I'm never going to be able to buy a house. It's too hard. Or I thought positively, the right house just hasn't come yet. Well, house number 4 turned out it was the right house. It was a perfect house. I got that one. And now when I think about it, when I'm stuck, I think maybe I'm only at house number 3 and there's a house number 4. So I always remind myself that the times that I was stuck, something better did happen. So I want you to think about, in the past, what did you do to move forward and turn it around? So summary, success is not about never falling down or even just getting back up. Success is about using that downward momentum to propel ourselves, to use it as a springboard to move up or to go in the opposite direction. Number 5, start small. Concentrate on small, manageable goals. When we can do that, we feel more in control. Now, we don't always feel in control. And especially with so many things going on, maybe a lot of things are going on at the office, we can get emotionally hijacked when we feel stressed or out of control. So how do we regain control? First of all, self-awareness. Identify the feelings and put it into words. Maybe talk to somebody else, maybe write it down. Number 2, identify what aspects you have control over and what you don't. And number 3, identify one small goal or action you can accomplish quickly. Then expand from there. And by just focusing on one small area, you'll feel more in control. So here's the exercise. Pick one thing you can control and do it. So for example, if you're really upset that your office is really messy, don't keep stressing out over it. Instead, say, I'm going to pick one small drawer and all I'm going to do is clean that. And when I clean that, I can enjoy that satisfaction. See, I was able to clean that one drawer, and then you can build on it, but only do that. So summary, small successes can add up to a major achievement. It just starts by taking the first small step and then another and then another. I always think about if you want to go mountain climbing and you look up and think, I can never get to the top of that mountain. But you look up and then you look down and you keep looking at your feet and you keep one step at a time, and you keep checking. But after a while, if you just take one step and one step and one more step, all of a sudden you're halfway up the mountain. But it comes by not stopping, by thinking the mountain's too big, but by taking those small steps. Number 6 is make it easy. Now, knowledge is also part of the answer. You need action. And just trying to force yourself or use willpower is not the way to get things done, because willpower gets worn out the more we use it. So instead, build the path of least resistance, because it's hard to overcome inertia. We do things that are easy. We do habits that are easy. So make it easier to do the habit you want to build. So if you want to ride your bike more, first of all, make sure that the tires are inflated and then put the bike and your helmet by the front door. So you will be reminded and it will be easy for you to take it out. Or if you want to play the guitar, tune the guitar and leave it, next to your desk or next to the table. So it will remind you and it will be easy to pick it up. If you want to make it harder to do habits you want to change, let's say you want to watch less TV and read more. So take the batteries out of the remote. I know that sounds really funny. Take the batteries out of the remote, put it in another room and put a book by the couch. And so when you sit down and hit the remote and you're like, oh, I have to get up, you know what you'll say? It's not worth it. I will just go ahead and read this book. So make it harder to do things you want to stop and make it easier to do things that you want to do more of. And it's called the 20-second rule. If you can delay something by just 20 seconds, you're more likely to avoid it. There were some really interesting studies. Researchers cut ice cream cafeteria consumption in half by just closing the lid of the cooler. When people had to open it, they were less likely to get it. And when people had to wait in a separate line to purchase chips and candy, they were less likely to do it. Again, it might have been a very small line, but they weren't willing to do it. The problem is when we have too many choices, it depletes our energy. So choose in advance what you want to do. Instead of saying, I'll exercise tomorrow, choose a time, decide on the exercise plan, put out your sneakers and clothes. Make it easy for you. So summary, take action. Make it as easy as possible to do things you want to do and get your shoes on and go. Final one, use a support network. The mistake we often make when we're in crisis is we shut off from other people, we pull back. But the most successful people turn outward. They turn to their social support network. And employees with more positive interactions become more protected from job stress. Get that support. So think about it, who's on your team? Maybe your partner, maybe your family, maybe your friends, maybe your coworkers. Think about it, on a football team, the quarterback is not by themselves. the quarterback is surrounded by the rest of the team. So the exercise, think about your support network. Who can you connect with today? Schedule a virtual coffee, send a thank you note, send an appreciative text or an email, letting people know that you appreciate them and reconnect with people in your network. So the summary, social support can provide the difference between being just average and achieving your fullest potential. So here were the 7 different steps we talked about: the advantage of happiness, choosing your mindset, spotting patterns of possibility, falling down and getting back up, starting small, making it easy, and having that support network. And I want to talk about one more thing, the ripple effect. It's contagious. Other people affect you. Think about it. If your boss walks into a meeting in a bad mood, maybe before the meeting, you're all joking, the boss walks in, he or she's in a bad mood, and it changes the energy of the meeting. And then people in the meeting are in a bad mood. And what happens after you leave the meeting? Then it spills over into your next meeting because you walk in and you're still not in a good mood. So it's the ripple effect. So what we want to do is a ripple effect in the other way, have a more positive ripple effect. And there was a great study done. They put people in groups and they had one person in the group where they had told, don't say anything to anybody else, but I want you to be really positive. So that person had to be really positive. And whatever group had the positive person in there always did better. So how can you spread the positive? So just think about it. We can make a tiny move towards being more positive, towards having a more positive mindset. And we can spread ripples of that throughout our company, our families, our communities. The more you do, the more other people will benefit, the more you will benefit. So what will you do to spread some happiness? You can go ahead and share this, share the ideas, but whatever it is, be happy, choose to be happy, and help other people to be happy. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can contact me at laura.brown, BROWNE, at careertipsforwomen.com, or you can go to my website, careertipsforwomen.com. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it, and go out and be happy. Bye-bye.